what are the biggest trends shaping the future of housing in the Wildwoods specifically?
Future trends. Wow, that's a great question. I mean, really, I think one of the great things is in Wildwood, you're seeing a lot of development on the west side, which is great. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity over there, a lot of old buildings that have just been either dormant or not really in use. So you're really seeing a lot of that new construction, beautiful, like 4-bedroom, 3-bath, townhouses and condos built on that side. So you're seeing a lot more development that way, which could actually provide a lot more opportunity for people for year-round living, because again, it's a little bit quieter, especially even in the summer months where you're not getting so much transient. At the same time, I think one of the things you're really seeing with Wildwood is you're seeing a lot of the commercial buildings being redeveloped. And some of them being redeveloped with commercial on the bottom, condos on the top. You're seeing a lot of the municipal buildings, they're being redeveloped into more municipal, but they're newer. So there's really seeing a real facelift in Wildwood. You're seeing a lot of new development, a lot of the local developers that live here and work here, they're really focusing their energy here to redevelop these properties and making, they're not getting into these gigantic structures where there's 24, 30 units in a building anymore, but they may be doing block to block, but they're doing townhouses, and they're putting communities within these townhouses. So that there's a gated community that was just built, has a pool, has a courtyard and all that, but they're all townhouses versus just these gigantic structures that they did in the early 2000s that don't really offer too much character, if you will. So there's a big facelift on that. You're going to have some new structures going up close to the boardwalk as well. Price points are really, real positive, and they're still expensive. No, don't get me wrong. There's $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, but that's in the Wildwoods. So the Wildwoods is finally seeing that number pull up in their area as well, which is raising the property values in Wildwood as a whole also. So, but and the boardwalk was all redone as well. So again, they're putting a lot of time, a lot of effort, not just in real estate, but in the city properties. They're putting that effort into. So. It's really nice. They're doing a great job.
I noticed they pulled all the wood up off the boardwalk.
Yep.
How frequently do they do that? Is that like something that they just do?
Not frequent enough, that's for sure. That boardwalk is old, and it's been that way for a long time, and they finally have put the budget towards replacing it, and that's been something they've been determined to do, and this administration's making it happen, and it's been great. It's a great facelift because people come to the shore, that's where they go. I mean, they go to the beach. Wildwoods they do have great beaches because they're so large, and they're free, and people love that. And then now all of a sudden you have a new boardwalk, you got a facelift on the boards. It just gives everything else that facelift also, and you start seeing some of the buildings will start to take a little bit better care of themselves, and all that just starts to trickle back down into the town as well. And so it's a process, but it's a step-by-step process that's starting from the top. And I mean by the top is governmentally they're doing it from the top, and they're taking care of their stuff, which means the community wants to take care of their properties as well.
Do you see any trend of type of person coming to Wildwoods? Like the type of person who's buying here, is it different than it was 4 years ago?
I would say the difference in the buyers, no, I would not say person-wise. I think the strategy is a little bit different. Much like we saw years ago when you saw the prices start to go up in some of the other towns like Ocean City and Seattle and what have you, that the buyer coming in now is looking less at it as a family property. They're doing a little bit more rental, and it's to offset the costs. And that's becoming a necessary evil from the standpoint of prices are getting so high that not everyone can just carry a property in that $5, $6, $7, $8, $900,000 property. So they can't necessarily just carry that value. So they're going to be doing some rentals. So you're looking at, I'd say the people that are coming in now they're savvier buyers than they ever were. There's so much information on the internet now. People know so much more background. Sometimes buyers show up and they have more background on the property than we have on the property. They're doing their research before they even come, which makes our jobs easier because they know what they're looking for and we can help them better. So I would say the person hasn't changed, but they're just savvier, if you will, and they are looking for that opportunity. How can I offset in some way the cost for me to carry the property?
Have the kind of person who is selling, has that changed at all in the past 5 years?
No, that's always pretty cyclical. I mean, you have the type of sellers that we have are they purchased the property, and now all of a sudden their kids have gone. They bought it to build the memories, and they were able to do that. They had 7, 8, 9 great years, and now all of a sudden their babies are early teenagers, and now they're into sports. They're into after school activities, boyfriends, girlfriends, what have you. So life changes in that dynamic. So now all of a sudden they're not coming, and they also don't want to be landlords, because when they bought it 10 years ago, they weren't doing. They could afford to just have it for family, but they don't want to rent. They don't want to deal with that. So now all of a sudden they're going to sell out because the kids aren't using it. They're not coming down and what have you. So that's a group of people that sell out. Now you have the people that have aged out. They're retiring. They're heading down south. They just go into a totally different area, and they don't have family to leave it to. As a country, we're spread out more now family-wise than I think ever in history. So now all of a sudden it's like, I have 3 kids, but not one of them lives near here, and they don't want nothing to do with it. So we're selling. So then you kind of have those people that are doing that, and they're moving to the next phase of their lives. So that's, I think, which is really a positive for our area, because it keeps the towns turning over from the standpoint of there's just new blood, there's new excitement, there's people that they want different things. So again, when we talked about what happened with the boardwalk and everyone kind of doing the facelifts and stuff, that new blood, if you will, they come in and they want to do something new with the property. They want to upgrade it in a different way, and it's constantly keeping things moving, and it doesn't become these stale towns, that they were back in forever till the 90s. They were these small little fishing towns that they're just not anymore. There's more people here year round, a ton of people that are here year round anymore, and that happened because of COVID. So you have more people that work from home, or now all of a sudden they're 3 days at home, or 3 days at the office, 4 days at home. So all of a sudden they're at home. They're at the shore for 4 days. Yep. Coming down on Thursdays. Thursdays they new Friday. All of a sudden they're coming down Thursday. They're coming down on Wednesday nights, and they're staying Thursday through the weekends. So they're getting a lot more time out of it too.
All right.